Hey guys, when it comes to villains in X-Men 97, the series goes straight to the point. It introduced an even scarier version of Mojo. And don't forget, Mr. Sinister returned to the game. Master Mojo, the Master Mold, and the Sentinels underwent major updates shown in the massacre in Genosha. Episode 7 of X-Men 97 Bright Eyes raises the bar by introducing two new terrifying threats at the same time. We're talking about Bastion and Operation Zero Tolerance. We'll see them in episodes 8, 9, and 10, which close out the first season. Based on what we already know about these villains in the comics in the Earth 616 Marvel Universe, fans can expect to see even more destruction and death in the upcoming scenes. To start, you already know, comment below if you've already watched the masterpiece that is X-Men 97's first season, or if you were there in the 90s when the classic cartoon was released in 1992 with its 5 seasons. Let's chat about it in the comments. Continuing. Who is Bastion in the X-Men mythology? Bastion is one of Marvel's most feared villains. He has a real obsession with eliminating mutants, a penchant that comes from his cybernetic nature. Bastion was never actually human. He believed himself to be Sebastian Gilbert, but his true origin dates back to an X-Men mission through the mystical Gate of Peril. He is the result of the fusion between the Master Mold and the scientist Sentinel Nimrod from another reality. As he passed through the portal, he was greeted by a woman named Rose. Despite her kindness, his hostile programming was activated when he witnessed the conflict between humans and mutants. Since that moment, Bastion has taken on his darker side as a monster with remarkable powers, superhuman strength, energy projection, flight, and the ability to control other Sentinels. He has perfected himself in the art of technopathy, becoming what the Master Mold and Nimrod aspired to be, the supreme robotic leader. Bastion even collaborated with figures such as Gregon Grieg, Henry Gritch, Bolivar Trask, and other tyrants in his crusade against mutants. Over time, he was beheaded but was rescued by the Purifiers and reassembled to participate in conflicts such as X-Men Second Coming and Messiah Complex. After these events, Bastion became more than firm in his mission. Even infected by the transmode virus, he did not stop hunting. That is why, to this day, many consider him one of the most dangerous adversaries of the X-Men. Crazy, right? Comment below if Bastion is at the level of season villain, which is what he is being in this first season of X-Men 97, giving orders to Mr. Sinister. So Bastion has to be badass. It has to be sinister, right? What is Operation Zero Tolerance in X-Men 97? Early in his career, Bastion quickly climbed the rungs of the United States government and assembled an international strike force. Called Operation Zero Tolerance, or OZT, which was part of a major event in 1997. Gambit and Phoenix attempted to infiltrate one of the meetings of this operation, but Phoenix was unable to read Bastion's mind to uncover his true intentions. Bastion, realizing they were mutants, showed just how powerful he was. Following the Onslaught event, Bastion even confined Professor Xavier in one of OZT's facilities and stole his files, giving him an even greater advantage over the X-Men. Bastion has shown to be ruthless, killing politicians and members of the media, and even kidnapping mutants like Jubilee for experiments. As part of his vision, he created human sentinel hybrids known as Prime Sentinels, a combination of his own abilities and the artificial intelligence that Nimrod represented. Luckily, Senator Kelly, with the support of mutant sympathizers, managed to shut down the program and enlisted S.H.I.E.L.D's help to bring Bastion to justice. Despite this, Bastion still inspired groups like Friends of Humanity to perpetuate the anti-mutant sentiment. Before I move on, guys, comment below what you thought of the plot, this story, this zero tolerance narrative. Is it on the level of a season-ending story? Leave your comments below. What is Bastion's endgame in X-Men? In episode 7 of X-Men 97, we see Bastion appearing at the end of the episode, scheming something with Mr. Sinister. He confesses to playing a part in the Genosha massacre and seems pleased with Thrashing's transformation into a Prime Sentinel, which wreaked absolute havoc in the fight against the X-Men. Sinister is frustrated because the heroes emerged victorious, but that doesn't shake Bastion, who has already collected enough data to hone the next generation of Sentinels. It appears that he plans to release more of these robots soon. Jim Gray, Madeline Prime, due to her psychic powers, and Rogue, after absorbing the memories of Thrashing, have had visions of these new robots in the future. This also explains Cable's return in X-Men 97. Bastion is whom he was referring to when he warned Madeline before her death on Genosha. This points out that X-Men 97 will delve into the past and the future to depict how Bastion was created, what the Sentinels did in Cable's timeline, and who the mutants ought to keep an eye on in the future. It might be that the disaster had a role in creating Bastion in the present. Regarding Bastion's origin, a subtle clue can be found in a picture in Forge's room from another past episode. The picture suggests that Forge collaborated with Bastion while working for the government. This could give an idea of where Bastion got his inspirations, considering that Forge is a technological genius. This predicts more conflict and drama in the relationship between Storm and Forge. Forge's invention not only disabled Storm, but it seems he also played a role in Bastion's formative years and ideas about how to control and contain mutants. Remember, it was Forge who initiated the studies. For it to be possible in the future, the creation of that mutant collar that takes away the powers, and also made it possible that weapon that was used against Storm, which made her lose her powers. Not only did Forge's invention incapacitate Storm, but he seems to have had a part in Bastion's early years and ideas about controlling and containing mutants. One thing's for sure, Bastion will be a tough opponent in these last 3 episodes to wrap up the first season of X-Men 97. He's got troops scattered everywhere with OZT IDs and heavily armed. His Prime Sentinels are like walking bombs. If they infiltrate society and reveal their true forms, they could cause major damage and even make the public believe that mutants are to blame. As we saw, Bastion kept Magneto locked up at the end of episode 7 and throughout episode 8 until Cooper freed him. I think Bastion not only hoped Magneto would be released, but managed to turn him into a superior Prime Sentinel. He mentioned he was working on his greatest masterpiece. It would be a dark irony if he could control Magneto and turn the former leader of the X-Men into a weapon and a pawn. Also, I believe it was in his plans for Magneto's first move to be revenge on the humans who attacked Genosha. And sure enough, Magneto's electromagnetic pulse caused a global blackout, and certainly a lot of deaths happened. Do you assume there weren't thousands of people in hospitals reliant on machines? What about planes in mid-flight? In the end, incalculable deaths and damage. It was definitely an act of war. The cards are on the table as Bastion and OZT aim to succeed what other mutant haters failed to do, to annihilate and show what total extinction really means. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments. I'd love to discuss the video's topics. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Here are some recommendations for upcoming videos that make complete sense for you to watch. See you in the next video. See you later.